Hi, and welcome to the All Things ITSM Global Podcast. We're coming to you from FUSION15 in New Orleans. I'm Kirsty McGowan. I'm here with Mark Smalley.
Hi, Kirsty.
And we're chatting now with Rae Ann Bruno.
Hi, Kirsty.
And Cay Robertson.
Hi.
Nice to have you on board.
Thank you for having us here.
Yeah, and I gather at Fusion we've got the KCS Award, and
Yes.
you're one of the finalists.
Yes.
Would you like to talk to that?
I would love to talk about that. I'm very proud of that. We implemented KCS back in 2012, and we are now on our journey 3 years later and seen significant changes anywhere from our first contact resolution increasing to bringing somebody on board to start taking phone calls, you know, from 6 to 8 weeks down to 10 days, and
Fantastic.
a huge significant difference. Yes.
I mean, that's a huge savings.
Oh, yes.
And would you say that's mostly an improvement in efficiency, or could you also translate that into how it translates down the line into the quality of service that the users experience?
So customer calls in. I mean, we're able to answer the call, resolve the call, usually on first contact, which in turn has brought down our cost of contact down from like $14 to $12. And it's also increased our business partner satisfaction. It's also bringing that knowledge across the board and into self-service now. So even our customers are able to resolve the incidents or the issues on their own through our self-service.
Has it been a long journey?
It's been a very long journey.
And could you tell? I'm interested in how did it start off? What triggered the initiative?
Well, part of that was that we had stayed at first contact at the same for quite some time. We couldn't bump it up any further, so something had to give.
Right.
And so we had a team of people work together to figure out what do we need to do, and that's where we had introduced KCS. And actually Rae Ann came in and taught our class, and we trained not only the analysts, but we also trained the management and helping them understand what this process was, and that started the journey.
And when was that? How far back was that?
That was back in 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 years down the track.
Yes.
And that's while we're just talking that, maybe, Rae, maybe you can just, because I guess not everybody realises what KCS and what the difference between KCS and traditional knowledge management is.
Okay.
So maybe you can just give a little bit of a
Sure, absolutely.
brief introduction to that.
Oh, shoot, really? Okay, when people think of knowledge management, they usually think of traditional knowledge engineering. So that is having a dedicated or many dedicated resources that are going to pretty much perfect the knowledge before they ever put it out there for anyone to use. KCS is happening at that interaction with the customer. So the first level, they're creating, if there is not an existing article, they're actually creating it while they're interacting with the customer. So that's actually one of the benefits. They're going to capture it in the context of the customer so that when it does go to self-help, they can find it in their own words, not in our geek speak.
Yeah.
So it is, there are a lot of aspects to it, a lot of checks and balances to make sure that it's accurate. A lot of people worry about that, but that's probably a great question to ask, Kay. You know, what they saw when they were creating the knowledge at the first level. If they don't know it, they can frame it, and they actually have an incredible story of something going to the third level without a solution during a major incident. And I should just turn that over to you, Kay, to finish that story.
Sure, I can do that.
Okay.
So, yes, so we had a major incident going on, and the issue got escalated all the way up to our third level.
Right.
And he turned around and wrote this article, and within 30 minutes we had like 27 hits. We were able to resolve it on first contact. So that there is the power of KCS and being able to make it happen right then and there.
Does that explain the difference?
Yeah, that's... Yeah, so it's, well, from what I've seen at KCS too, it's that whole, every time you use an article, you review it and improve it.
Yes, exactly. That's part of the quality.
It's not static. It gets in there and it's living and changing.
You do know what it is.
Yeah.
The acronym is UFA, and what it means is with every ticket, every interaction with a customer, you're either using an existing article, flagging it or fixing it, depending on the rights that you've earned within the knowledge base, or you're adding it if it doesn't exist. And everyone has the responsibility of making sure that it's correct or improving.
Yeah, that's what I really liked about it when I started looking into it for a customer of mine, that I thought, this is exactly what they need.
Right.
And it is that Yeah, it's not static knowledge sitting there. I think a lot of traditional knowledge bases, that's it, the article's written, it's in there, and 2 years later it's still in there.
Yes.
And it's either never used or it's completely out of date and giving the wrong information.
And I think that's why a lot of people are finally really embracing KCS, trying to understand it.
Yes.
Because I think prior to that, or that's where they end up, they just have this very cumbersome knowledge base. It takes a long time to find the right answer. They stop using it, they don't trust it, and this eliminates all of those issues.
Yes.
Yeah, could you put this in the context of your organisation? You know, what business-wise, what depends on IT?
So we are a utility company, and so our service desk, it supports all of the internal customers. We do not support the external. And so it's anything from network printing, password resets, it's all of the above. And to use the articles each time a call comes in, and then to be able to support in locations that are not just in our building, but in other states, because we are located in other states, has helped that first contact. You know, before it was like, you know, we used to be called the helpless desk. So
Yeah.
to
I've
take
come
it from a
across few of
helpless
those.
desk to where we are today is a huge improvement, and that's where a lot of it comes
What
from.
have you interpreted helplessness? What have you done in terms of promotion to
So,
give you a better profile?
well, our theme for KCS is knowledge without borders. So
yeah.
that alone puts it in perspective of what we do. That knowledge is it's full of.
It's breaking down the silos. Everybody
Yeah.
always has their pockets of knowledge,
Yes.
and now it's showing that they all
Right.
have ownership.
Right. And so with that, I mean, that just tells you there how everybody's involved. All of our analysts have embraced it. All of our management team has embraced
It
it.
sounds too good to be true.
Well, you know what? It really, you know.
Hang out the dirty washing. You know.
No, I mean, that journey took a long time because getting these teams together, we had the communications team, the implementation team, the technology team, and we really had some tough discussions on, are we going this route, are we going this route? But it was a team decision on, you know, where are we going with this? We had to, do you create the process to fit the tool, or do you change the tool to fit the process? So a lot of discussion around that.
Yeah, and any kind of resistance that because people always run into some kind of resistance. Interested in what resistance you ran into and how you tackled it.
Well, so when we brought this on board, I knew that I was going to have to take a hit on our metrics, okay? Because if a call came in and we did not have an article written, the analyst had to sit there and write that article. So I could see on the board, we're getting these calls that are coming in, there's a long wait time, or our abandoned call was increasing, but I knew I had to take that hit at the very beginning. So it was a struggle for them to write it in non-geek speak, you know, into their language. That was a tough one there. But, and now over time, since that is now written, it is easier just to go out and search early, search often is something that we say all the time.
Yeah.
And when we do call reviews, we have to make sure that those tickets are linked to an article. We look at participation rate. So there's a lot of metrics behind the scenes that we even focus on
I
for
really
that.
like the way the KCS metrics worked, the way of, you know, seeing how often articles are used and reused. And
And then it shows the impact on incident
Yes,
too.
yeah.
If I could add one thing about one of your questions when you were asking, well, when she was talking about breaking down the silos, that third level person, when he was in the workshop, the design workshop at the beginning, you could tell that he embraced the idea of KCS, but he really thought it was for the first level.
Yeah.
And when he shared that story with me at first about, hey, I fixed this, you know, and they used it 27 times in 30 minutes, you saw all of a sudden that he really realized the impact to the other levels
the
of
lights
support
go
as
on.
well. Yes, because those were 27 calls that he didn't
you
handle.
didn't have to take.
Right.
Right.
Well, I think we could talk about this for a lot longer
yeah, we
because it's a
could.
really great subject.
Yeah, I think we're going to wish you the best of luck for
Well, thank
tomorrow.
you,
Yeah.
thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
So thank you very much, Rae
Sure,
Ann and
thank you so
Cay
much
for
for
spending
having
some
us.
Thank you for
time
having
with
us.
us.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great
All right,
story.
great. Thank you.